And welcome to not just another edition of Inside PressBox. Hi, I'm your host, Stan the Fan Charles, and what we have today is a very special SquareOff edition of Inside PressBox. The panel consists of CSN Baltimore's very fine writer John Eisenberg, former NFL star Jean Fugett, and former sportscaster John Buren. Just a heads up, we taped this segment the day after Gary Williams' resignation. At that time, the largest focus was on two candidates, Sean Miller and Mike Bray, neither of whom ended up getting the job at Maryland. The ultimate choice became Mark Turgeon. And now, without further ado, here's our moderator, Richard Sher.
And thank you, Stan. Welcome to Inside PressBox. This is the SquareOff edition. We want to thank Billy Murphy and everybody at the Murphy firm for lending us their beautiful set here that you see on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Welcome to our great panel. You'll meet them as we go along. Stan, what are we going to do about Gary Williams? That was a big blow a couple of weeks ago.
Well, we're going to replace him is what we're going to do. And I thought it was fitting, given Gary's M.O., that it was on Cinco de Mayo, one of the days that people like to tip a few back. Gary did a solid job for 22 years at the University of Maryland. He'll be missed. He'll be, I don't think, a tough act to follow as much as an interesting act to follow.
John Eisenberg, who's at csnbaltimore.com. John, good to have you here.
Thank you.
What do you think about this Gary thing?
Well, yeah, I would agree. I don't think it's going to be a hard act to follow because, I mean, a lot of people love Gary. He had great success here, but the last 7 or 8 years haven't been so great. They've been okay, not great, and I think it's time for somebody new.
Look who else is here, John Buren, my buddy from Channel 13 many years ago, now making millions of dollars in the house selling business.
It's cold at the top, that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, sure. Well, welcome. Good to have you here. What do you think about this Gary thing? That really shocked everyone.
Yeah, I was surprised, and then as you start piecing it together, you understand that it was the last straw. I think when that post player decided he was going to go to the NBA,
Jordan Williams, yeah.
Gary thought, you know, I need this, right? The transition, he was at war with Debbie Yow for years and years and years. Now the new guy comes in, and he hadn't been nitpicking him yet, but he'd been asking a lot of questions. Okay, what happens after they stop asking questions? They start making suggestions.
Right, but the new guy came in and got rid of Friedgen first. Wasn't that the first thing he did?
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. Jean Fugett, NFL superstar and a great attorney. It's great to see you.
Oh, thank you, Richard. I appreciate you having me, buddy.
Hope this time you can beat me at arm wrestling.
Guess not. No. All right. I need a lawyer. I just hurt my arm.
Call Murphy. Call Billy Murphy.
So
what do you think about this?
Well, I think that I love Bob Wade. I love Lefty Driesell. But Gary goes down as the top coach in the history of Maryland basketball, and in the ACC, he's second only to Dean Smith and Coach K. I think that says it all.
So what are we going to do about Maryland basketball from now on?
Well, I think they'll have a fine list of candidates. I found the timing of Gary leaving a little odd. Most staffs, Mike Bray at Notre Dame, Sean Miller at Arizona.
That's recruiting, though, but recruiting.
Yeah, but also their staffs. I mean, I think he's left his staff hanging out to dry. They've been really firming up their recruiting base. They had a couple good signings. To me, an odd timing, but they'll get a good list of candidates.
I think it's going to be a tough job to fill because they're going to have to go high profile, and I know that they have the money, but because of the timing of this and because you have to have high profile, if I'm a big-time D1 coach and I'm looking at this job, I think, oh, I want to go coach in the ACC up against Krzyzewski and Carolina? No, thank you. No, that's what the guy at VCU, they offered in the NC State
you got to
job.
go that way. You don't have to go high profile. Look what they're doing now. Look at Shaka Smart and the young coaches that are coming along.
Brad Stevens, Sean Miller at Arizona.
But if you're going to go that way, if you're going to go second tier, you got to sell that to the money people in College Park.
Johnny.
And I think that could be a tough
I don't think they're going to go young. I think they're going to go somebody who's established. As you said, John, they have a lot of money. They're going to pay for somebody. That's how they're going to settle this. And they're going to pay for someone who's willing to go in and recruit that AAU scene, which was not Gary's favorite thing to do. And so now they're going to play the ball a little differently down at the University of Maryland, maybe get some different kind of recruits.
My guess is Mike Bray and Sean Miller, 1-2.
All right.
That's my guess.
Can we turn to football?
Let's.
What is this lockout thing about? Can you explain it like in a sentence? Because it's still confusing to a lot of people.
Well, it's real easy. The NFL players want to play. 2 years ago, the NFL owners decided that they wanted more money and they were going to lock us out. They started planning 2 years ago. And a judge found that 2 years ago they planned to lock us out and went to the networks behind our back got an extension without getting more money, getting paid while we're locked out. Judge says that's cheating, and we're going to find out how much money that's worth. We think that's almost $3 billion, which will be trebled, which will be $9 billion, and that means I'm going to get a bigger check.
He deserved that, yeah.
Well, this situation is starting to creep into the world where it's a little scary about the upcoming season.
Oh, no question.
They've got probably another 30 to 40 days.
Can't happen that soon. Can't happen.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's starting to get problematic.
You need to find a college football team that you like, because the problem is the owners have not agreed. Jerry Jones named that stadium Cowboy Stadium because he doesn't want to share the money. Look, Jerry Jones says, I love my father too. I love my father, but I'm not going to be Mike Brown and name my stadium Paul Brown Stadium and not get any money.
JB.
This thing is all about going to an 18-game season. That's at the crux of it. And it's also about imposing what the owners are calling a rookie salary cap, which would then, in actuality, extend for 3 or 4 years, depending on the negotiation point. Keep in mind, the average lifespan of an NFL player is only about 4 years. So you can see that the players have a lot of gripe. On the other side, the only books that have been opened to figure out how well the owners are doing are the Green Bay Packers, because they are municipally held. They're owned by the city of Green Bay. They average $20 million a year in profit.
Yeah, they do. I don't think anything's going to happen until August 1. I think that's the date you're looking at. That's the date after which the season is really in jeopardy. It's when people starting to, the threat of losing money is what will impel something to happen.
All right, Ravens draft choices and the future of thoroughbred racing when Inside PressBox Square-Off Edition continues.
This portion of Inside PressBox has been brought to you by the Maryland Lottery's Double Play Scratch Off. Scratch the front, peel the back, plus enter non-winning tickets at mdlottery.com/double play for a chance to win cash and great Orioles prizes.